What if I told you the most disrespected quarterback in the 2025 draft class just got exposed? But in a way that proves he's the best of them all. Luke Floriea just dropped a truth bomb about Shedeur Sanders that's got NFL scouts scrambling in. Nobody saw this coming.
This is Luke Flor speaking about Shedeur. Listen to this. Shout out to the homeboy JK.
You're the highlight reel of the week with Shedeur Sanders and that touchdown catch. I mean, I imagine what was that like?
We got in the huddle and Shedeur looked at me. He goes, "This man, I'm throwing it to you." I'm like, "Sweet." I go out. I see it's cover one. I'm like, I don't think he's a liar. Like, I think he's gonna let this thing fly to me. Threw me a nice ball. I caught it, and yeah, my phone was nuts after that. Gosh, all those reps, my entire life just led to that one play that kind of blew everything up for me, which I'm very thankful for. There's a lot of debate whether I got one or two in, but I got two in.
Luke Floriea just exposed exactly why Shedeur Sanders is not like other quarterbacks. And what he revealed is absolutely insane. When Shedeur walked into that huddle and told Luke, "I'm throwing it to you," it wasn't a suggestion. It was a promise from someone who's been absolutely dominating training camp. What happened next had Luke's phone blowing up for days. But here's what nobody's talking about. Luke just dropped some serious truth bombs about what Shedeur's really been doing behind the scenes. And this is about to change how you see this. Quarterback forever. Look, I've been covering football for years, and I'm telling you right now, what Luke Floriea just revealed about Shedeur Sanders is the kind of stuff that separates legends from pretenders. And before all you haters start typing in the comments, just hear me out, because this story is about to blow your mind. So here's what went down. Luke Floriea, Shedeur's tight end, was asked about that highlight reel touchdown catch that had everyone talking. But it wasn't just the catch that was impressive. It was what happened before the play that tells you everything you need to know about Shedeur's mentality. We got in the huddle and Shedeur looks at me. He goes, "This man, I'm throwing it to you." I'm like, "Sweet." I go out, I see it's cover one. I'm like, I don't think he's a liar. I think he's gonna let this thing fly to me. Did you catch that? I don't think he's a liar. That's not just confidence from a quarterback. That's earned trust. That's the kind of reputation you build when you consistently deliver under pressure. Luke knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that Shedeur was going to put that ball exactly where it needed to be. But here's where it gets even crazier. Luke's phone went absolutely nuts after that play. All those reps my entire life just led to that one play that kind of blew everything up for me, he said. Think about that for a second. All those years of grinding, all those practice sessions. And it took one perfect throw from Shedeur to change everything for this tight end. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. It's just one play, what's the big deal? But you're missing the point entirely. This isn't about one play. This is about what that play represents. It's about the type of quarterback Shedeur Sanders is becoming, and why he's different from everyone else in his draft class. While other quarterbacks are posting workout videos and throwing to stationary targets, Shedeur is out here making real plays with real consequences. He's not just throwing the ball, he's making promises and keeping them. That's championship mentality right there. And speaking of championships, let's talk about what's really happening behind the scenes. Coach Prime is back in Boulder, and word is starting to leak out about what they're seeing from the players who are still there. Now, I'll be honest with you. Losing Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders is a massive blow to any program. These weren't just good players, they were game changers. But here's the thing that's got everyone talking. Coach Prime went on record, saying this Colorado team is actually better than last year's squad. Now, I know that sounds crazy when you consider they lost their two biggest stars. But think about it from a different angle. What if having Shedeur and Travis actually held some other players back? What if now that they're gone, we're about to see a whole different level of football?
For whatever reason, Shedeur has been setting the tone, man. A lot of people been speaking about Dylan Gabriel kind of really not living up to the hype, man. As of right now, he's not producing content the way Shedeur is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think no quarterback is. Dylan ain't, Kenny Pickett ain't, nobody ain't doing it, bro. Shedeur is letting it be known he's showing the world what he's doing. That's not to take nothing away from any of the other guys, you know what I'm saying? But they ain't showing it.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Colorado is better without Shedeur. What I'm saying is that Shedeur's departure is forcing everyone else to step up. And that's exactly what great programs do. They reload, not rebuild. But let's get back to our main man, Because what Shedeur has been doing in training camp is absolutely ridiculous. While guys like Dylan Gabriel are keeping things quiet, Shedeur is out here showing the world exactly what he's working with. And trust me, the footage that's been coming out is next level. Look, I've watched a lot of quarterback training sessions over the years, and there's something different about the way Shedeur approaches his craft. It's not just about arm strength or accuracy, though he's got plenty of both. It's about the mental side of the game. It's about being able to look a receiver in the eye and tell him exactly what's about to happen. That's what separates the good quarterbacks from the great ones. Good quarterbacks can make throws. Great quarterbacks can make promises and keep them. And based on what Luke Floriea just revealed, Shedeur is definitely in that second category now. I want to address something that's been bothering me about the coverage of Shedeur lately. There's been this narrative that he's somehow not living up to the hype, that he's not producing content the way he should be. But here's the thing. While other quarterbacks are focused on social media and highlight reels, Shedeur is focused on the work. Dylan ain't. Kenny Pickett ain't. Nobody ain't doing it, bro. Shedeur is letting it be known. He's showing the world what he's doing, and that's exactly right. While everyone else is talking, Shedeur is working. While everyone else is posting, Shedeur is perfecting his craft, and the results speak for themselves. When Luke Floriea talks about that touchdown catch, he's not just talking about a good throw. He's talking about a quarterback who had the confidence to call his shot and the skill to back it up. That's clutch genes stuff right there. But here's what really gets me fired up about this whole situation. There are still people out there who want to diminish what Shedeur accomplished at Colorado. They want to say it was all Travis Hunter, or it was all Coach Prime's system, or it was all hype. But when you listen to his teammates talk about him, you get a completely different picture. Luke Floriea didn't have to say those things about Shedeur. He could have just talked about the catch and moved on. But he chose to highlight Shedeur's leadership, his confidence, his ability to deliver in clutch moments. That's the kind of stuff you can't fake. And it's the kind of stuff that wins championships. Speaking of winning championships, let's talk about what this means for Shedeur's future. The NFL is always looking for quarterbacks who can perform under pressure, who can make plays when the game is on the line. And what Luke just revealed shows that Shedeur has that quality in spades. Think about it. How many quarterbacks in college football right now can walk into a huddle and tell their receiver exactly what's about to happen? How many can build that level of trust with their teammates? I'm telling you right now, that's rare air territory. And the crazy part is, this is just the beginning. If Shedeur can do this kind of stuff in practice, imagine what he's going to do when the lights are brightest and the stakes are highest. That's when great quarterbacks separate themselves from the pack. And based on everything we're seeing, Shedeur is ready for that moment. But let's be real for a second. There are going to be doubters. There are going to be people who say this is all hype, that Shedeur hasn't proven anything yet. To those people, I say, just wait. Just wait until you see what this kid can do when everything is on the line. Because here's the thing about Shedeur Sanders. He's not just talented, he's mentally tough. He's got that killer instinct that you can't teach. When Luke Floriea says, I don't think he's a liar, he's talking about a quarterback who's earned that trust through consistent performance. And that's what's going to carry Shedeur to the next level. It's not just about the arm talent or the footwork, though he's got both of those in spades. It's about the mental side of the game. It's about being able to look your teammate in the eye and make a promise that you know you can keep. That's championship DNA right there. That's what separates the good quarterbacks from the great ones. And based on what Luke Floriea just revealed, Shedeur Sanders is definitely in that great category. Now, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind lately. There's been this narrative that Shedeur is somehow not ready for the next level, that he needs more time to develop. But when you listen to his teammates talk about him, you get a completely different picture. Luke Floriea isn't just talking about a quarterback who can make throws. He's talking about a leader, someone who can inspire confidence in his teammates. That's the kind of stuff that translates to success at any level. And here's what really excites me about Shedeur's future. He's still improving. This isn't a guy who's peaked in college. This is a guy who's just getting started. The work he's putting in during training camp, the way he's approaching his craft, the leadership he's showing, that's all building towards something special. So, when people ask me if Shedeur Sanders is ready for the next level, I tell them to listen to what his teammates are saying. I tell them to watch how he performs under pressure. I tell them to pay attention to the way he carries himself in clutch moments. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Not the highlight reels, not the social media posts, not the draft predictions. What matters is whether you can deliver when your team needs you most. And based on what Luke Floriea just revealed, Shedeur Sanders can definitely do that. Look, I know there are going to be people in the comments who disagree with me. There are going to be people who think I'm being too positive about Shedeur's prospects. But here's the thing. I'm not just making this stuff up. I'm basing this on what his teammates are saying, on what we're seeing in practice, on the way he's approaching his craft. And when Floriea says that Shedeur looked him in the eye and told him exactly what was going to happen, that tells me everything I need to know about this quarterback's mentality. That's winners mentality. That's championship DNA. So the next time someone tells you that Shedeur Sanders isn't ready for the next level, remind them of what Floriea just revealed. Remind them that this is a quarterback who can make promises and keep them. Remind them that this is a leader who inspires confidence in his teammates. Because at the end of the day, that's what separates the good quarterbacks from the great ones. And based on everything we're seeing, Shedeur Sanders is definitely in that great category. So there you have it, folks. Floriea just gave us a window into what makes Shedeur Sanders different from every other quarterback in this draft class. While others are posting workout videos, Shedeur is out here making promises and keeping them. While others are talking about their potential, Shedeur is proving it on the field. The question isn't whether Shedeur is ready for the next level. The question is whether the next level is ready for him. What do you think? Is Floriea right about Shedeur being different from other quarterbacks? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we're just getting started with this training camp coverage. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.